So today I am excited to show you this little beauty. It's a Sony Walkman WM-33 cassette player, an entry-level model released almost 10 years after the original TPS L2. Now, this model cassette player was released in 1987 and was similar to the previous WM-22 that came before. It was sold in three colours: black, blue and red. To make sure that it could market this at a lower price, Sony did something quite interesting. The internal mechanism and the electronic printed circuit were assembled as one, as opposed to two separate parts featured in previous models. This made it easier to assemble, requiring less parts like screws and other fixings. Despite the mechanical improvements, however, the WM-33 had inferior sound quality to its predecessor. Now, the unit does come with a built-in graphic equalizer, and for me this is a strange concept for a budget model. You see, it allows the user to adjust the highs, mids and lows from a sound quality perspective. However, I find personally it's inconsistent with minimal range. On the top here you'll see a very basic range of inputs, from rewind, fast forward, stop and a play button. And that's it. As stated, this was a budget model and it was made to be basic. Personally, I think the design of the unit is really aesthetic, with the graphic equalizer giving it a higher budget look. The red really stands out against the metallic strip and the black plastic buttons. Okay, so you'll have to forgive me, I am shooting this in the dark, but I did set up some lighting so hopefully you can see. I just wanted to say, if you're enjoying this video, please like and subscribe for more great retro content. It would really help the channel out and push it through the algorithm. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Over on the side we have further controls. We have a switch to adjust the preset of normal versus CR02 metal cassette tapes. I'm not going to go into detail about what those are at the moment, but if you'd like a video on that, let me know down in the comments. We have an aux input for headphones or earphones, and finally a classic volume dial. Re-looking at the clip on the back, we see that it's slightly malformed from being repeatedly lifted up and down. This is because the battery compartment is partly located underneath. So let's test the unit now with some batteries and a cassette tape and I'll show you what I mean. In order to remove the battery cover and insert the batteries, the clip either has to be lifted up, causing two main issues. One, direct repetitive stress to the same area over and over, or two, the fact it's a nuisance to do every time you want to replace the batteries. Yes, the clip could be removed and I could argue that's the point of the design, although I would also argue, and as evidenced by the condition of the unit when it arrived, that most people would just lift the clip up slightly to open the compartment. After testing this for a number of weeks, I can safely say that this isn't my favourite Sony Walkman cassette player. It looks nice from the onset, but it feels very basic to handle. Not cheap, but basic. Again, this is what it was marketed as, so no complaints here. Okay, so the WM-33 sold pretty well, with its structural design being used in future models of the Sony Walkman. This was a great concept that allowed future models to be made quicker and cheaper. Okay, so now the batteries are in, we can have a quick test of the unit. We flick open the case and insert a cassette tape. I've chosen the album The White Stripes by The White Stripes. We insert it with the tape facing towards us on side A, close the lid, and then we insert some headphones. You can see as we click play, the cassette starts to spin and the red indicator light at the top left turns on. As this tape was already pre-wound since we last played it, it's playing the first song on the album from side A. Just a brief note here to say that I can't play the music on here for copyright reasons. Once we stop the device, we can then open the lid again and manually remove the cassette tape. No, this player doesn't have an automatic eject like other versions. And that's it. That is how the WM-33 cassette player was designed and functions. Thank you for watching.